Hello and welcome. I am very excited because today is the day I'm launching my brand new channel on YouTube, and it's called The Everyday Intuitive. Um, my name is Kate Luce. I am an intuitive. I am a channeler. I am a certified emotion code, body code, belief code practitioner. And as such, I work with energy. And certainly, when as an intuitive and a channeler, I'm always working with energy. And the point, the purpose, the reason that I wanted to launch this channel is because I believe, as the title says, that we all have access to our intuition. That it's a, if you want to say, a God-given ability, just like being able to see and being able to hear and being able to touch and taste. And it's another sense, it's another ability that we have, but many of us, have lost touch with. And so for those of you who have the sense that you have that you get intuition sometimes, or that you have the ability to be intuitive, but you don't maybe trust it, or don't, it kind of happens when it happens, or maybe you never felt like you had any intuition. So um, wherever you stand on this, and some of you are already very connected to your intuition, and that's fabulous. But my purpose in being here is to encourage people to get in touch with that ability. And so this channel is going to be several things. I'm going to be sharing some of my own channeled wisdom, whether it was written in journals, and I'll tell you a little bit about that, or whether it's just bringing up whatever's coming through at the moment. I'm going to be sharing that with you in the hopes that you will understand that this isn't something that only a few people can do. This is something that you can do, and that you can use it for your everyday life. So I'm also, in addition to sharing the things that come through me, to hopefully to encourage you, but I'm also going to just be sharing tips about how you can more reliably get in touch with your intuition and use it for your everyday life to help you with questions that you have, or problems that you see, or just in terms of getting like support and guidance on an everyday or whenever you want it basis. So that's the purpose. Today is going to be a short introductory video where I'm going to share a couple of things. And then as we progress, I'm going to be sharing tips on how to access your intuition more reliably and so forth. So let's get started. I wanted to just share a couple of things. I did come to this, really, my intuitive powers really developed through journaling. I happen to love to journal. I know it's not for everybody, so I'm not saying you have to journal in order to access your intuition. I'm just saying it is one avenue in. And the thing that happened for me was I was writing in my journals, like many people do, just to sort of, organize my thoughts and think about things and muse about things, and just used it as a kind of a way to express my emotions in a safe place and all of that kind of stuff. But what I found when I would go back and read my journals was that very often I would go, where did this information come from? So I don't know if you've had that experience, if you've journaled, but you read it back and you go, did I say this? Did this come from me? It's in my handwriting, or, I typed it on the computer, however you do it. And sometimes it would just amaze me. And I started to realize that this wasn't coming from me, that I was opening a channel to higher guidance and vibrational frequency, through, just being in stillness and being in that state where you do write in your journals. So that's how I came to it. And so I'm going to be sharing a few things from my journal that I think are apropos for, just simple little tips right now for accessing your own intuition, if you have questions about that. So one of the things I wrote back a few years ago was most of the word heart is the word here. And it just struck me that I'd never seen or noticed that before, because really the key to access to your intuition is to opening your ears, your energetic ears, shall we call it, so that you can hear messages that come through. So tuning into your heart and opening to receive and to hear and to listen. So I think that's just a great little tidbit right there that would be helpful to many people. And here's something else that came through, and it's really about the process. So trust that the information is there and be patient and wait expectantly for answers to surface. Remember the 8-ball? I don't know if any of you do remember the 8-ball, but when I was a kid, we had that black 8-ball where you could ask it questions and then you turn it over and see what the answer was. But it had this little sort of filmy kind of questions that would kind of float up, and you'd have to wait sometimes to be able to read them. So remember the 8-ball, it is a true physical reflection of what happens with information you are trying to retrieve. And it is a retrieval process. The information is in the field around us, the field of energy that surrounds us. It's simply a matter of calling it to you when it's needed. This is something you forget. Just like on the internet, it simply needs the right words typed into the search bar in order to bring forth the information. So think of it like that. Asking the right question will bring up the answers, and being patient, like you had to do with the 8-ball, for the answer to kind of bubble up. And we'll talk more about that and how messages come through. You don't always get the thing that you're asking for right away, but we'll address that in other videos. For now, before we end, I would like to just read to you something that I channeled the other day on the midst of the elections in the US, knowing that we're in a crazy, tumultuous time, and that it would be helpful to have some advice to share with the world. And so this is what came through. And isn't it interesting? The first thing is tune into your heart. Tune into your heart. Your heart does not deal in fear. Your heart operates on an entirely different frequency that fear cannot infiltrate. When you are aligned with the heart, you are aligned with love. You are in a higher vibrational frequency and separate from, immune to the lower frequencies of hate and fear and shame, of anger and resentment. Staying in the frequency of love shields you from some of those other lower frequencies that can only take hold when you drop out of heart energy. This is very important to remember. And if you feel yourself dropping out of heart energy, as you will, you can notice and reconnect. Reconnection is simple, but you must first notice and remind yourself that this fall from grace, quote unquote, is not inevitable. And if it happens, you only have to notice. You only have to notice and find the thing, the thought, the feeling that reconnects you to your heart. There are so many things in the world that take your attention, on your phone, in the news, on TV, in films, in conventional wisdom, that can pull you out of your heart. When you allow yourself to be seduced by them, you agree in a way to operate at a different frequency that can drag you into a cascade of negativity and lower vibrations. But you always have at your disposal, at your fingertips, the antidote. Reconnect with your heart energy. Put your attention on whatever brings you joy. And if you must scroll through your phone, pull up the cute babies, the adorable kittens, the funny pet videos. and return to your heart through laughter or through sheer delight. You are in control of your frequency. And so I leave you with that as some wisdom for today and for the upcoming days. I think it's really important for us to remember as we move through this tumultuous time in the world and in the States and wherever and in our own lives. So I hope you'll return and think about what I said, and maybe return to the channel and get some other tips on how to connect and recognize that you are also an everyday intuitive. So I thank you for being here. I look forward to seeing you again.